170 million. That's how many new jobs the World Economic Forum says AI will create by 2030. 92 million. That's how many it will destroy. Now, those two numbers come from the same report published in January 2025, based on data from over 1,000 of world's largest employers. But here's where it gets strange. When I started digging into the actual report from Goldman Sachs, PricewaterhouseCoopers, McKinsey, and the IMF, and I found something that nobody in the mainstream conversation is talking about. The job disappearing right now, they are not the ones anyone predicted. So here's the story we've all been told about AI and jobs. Robots will replace factory workers, automation takes over manual labors, and blue-collar jobs are the ones to disappear first. That story is completely wrong. And it's not a little wrong, it's completely backwards. Goldman Sachs analyzed over 900 occupations and found that in the United States, the jobs most exposed to AI automation are office and administrative work for 46%, legal work for 44%, architecture and engineering for 37%, but building maintenance 1%, construction 6%, installation and repair 4%. Now let me say that differently. If you're a plumber right now, AI is basically irrelevant to your daily work. But if you're an accountant, a paralegal, a junior programmer, a marketing analyst, Goldman Sachs' own updated research from August 2025 lists your job on the highest risk category. And this isn't theoretical anymore. McKinsey's latest research shows that hiring for entry-level programmers and analysts has already slowed down, not in 2030, now. Goldman Sachs found early signs of disruption already visible in marketing consulting, graphic design, office administration, and call centers. Tech employment as a share of overall employment has actually decreased since November 2022. So if you're sitting right now in what you think is a safe, white-collar job, the data says you're actually in the eye of the storm. And if this data is new to you, and it is for most people, I want you to hit the subscribe button right now, because I'm going to keep tracking these reports as they come out. This stuff moves fast. So if you don't want to miss out and you want to support my work, subscribe now and hit the like button. But here's what makes this complicated, because at the same exact time, these jobs are disappearing. And something completely unexpected is happening on the other side. PricewaterhouseCoopers just released their 2025 Global AI Barometer. They analyzed close to 1 billion job ads across 6 continents. And the headline finding contradicts everything you just heard. Job numbers are rising in virtually every type of AI-exposed occupation, even the highly automatable ones. I'm going to read you the exact numbers because I had to double-check this for myself. Between 2019 and 2024, occupation with lower AI exposure, so 65% job growth, that's expected. But even occupation with high AI exposure still saw 38% growth. Jobs are being created in the categories that everyone said will be wiped out. And it gets even more interesting. Workers with AI skills, things like prompt engineering, data analysis with AI tool, they command a 56% wage premium over workers in the exact same role who don't have those skills. That's up from 25% just 1 year earlier. 56%, that's not a small advantage, that's a completely different economic reality. So what's actually going on here? How can jobs be disappearing and growing at the same time? The answer is in a word that doesn't make good for headlines: transformation. McKinsey found the perfect example: radiologist. For years, everyone said AI would replace radiologists. It was the go-to example, like AI read X-rays better than doctors. But here is what's actually happened. Between 2017 and 2024, radiologist employment grew 3% per year. The Mayo Clinic expanded its radiology staff by over 50% since 2016, while simultaneously deploying hundreds of AI models in their processes. AI didn't replace them, it made them more valuable. They do more complex work more efficiently, with AI handling all the routine image analysis. And so this is the pattern hiding inside all of the data. The jobs aren't disappearing, they're splitting. The routine parts get automated and the human parts becomes more valuable. But that only works if you're on the right side of that split. And right now, most people don't even know which side they're on. Which brings us to the real question. How much time do you actually have? The World Economic Forum says 39% of the skills employer needs will change by 2030. That's 4 years from now. McKinsey projects that by 2030, up to 30% of current working hours could be automated, and both Europe and the United States will each need roughly 12 million occupational transitions. That's 12 million people who need to fundamentally change what they do for a living. The IMF puts it even more starkly. Nearly 40% of global employment is exposed to AI. In advanced economies like in the US, the UK, and Europe, that number jumps to 60%. But here is the part that should concern you. The IMF also found that 6 out of 10 workers will need retraining, but only half currently have access to adequate training. And that gap between the people who need to adapt and the people who actually can, that's where the real crisis is forming. And so based on everything I've read across these reports, I see 3 categories of professionals right now. The category 1 is you're already being displaced. These roles are where AI can perform the core task today, not in 2030, today. Goldman Sachs names them telemarketers, data entry clerk, basic customer service, proofreaders, credit analysts. If this is your primary job function right now, you're not preparing for future disruption, you're already in one. Category 2, it's what I call the danger zone. You have 1 to 3 years. These are the roles that AI can partially automate, but hasn't fully disrupted yet. Junior programmers, paralegals, financial analysts doing routing modeling, marketing analysts running standard campaigns, entry-level graphic designers doing template work. The McKinsey data shows hiring is already slowing in these categories. The PricewaterhouseCoopers data shows the wage premium going to the people in these same roles who have AI skills and not to the ones who don't. The signal is clear. Category number 3 is what I call the leverage zone. These are roles where AI makes you exponentially more productive if you know how to use it. Strategic consultants using AI to synthesize research 10 times faster, doctors using AI diagnostics to see more patients with better accuracy, creative directors using AI tools to prototype concept in hours instead of weeks, and leaders who can orchestrate human AI teams. See, the difference between category 2 and category 3 isn't your job title, it's your skill set, and that's something you can change. But the window is narrowing. LinkedIn's data shows that since 2022, the pace at which new skills are being acquired has increased by 140%. That's not just individual motivation, that's a market signal. The people who see what's coming are already moving. Now I want to hear from you. Based on everything you've seen so far, put one word in the comments. Are you displaced, endangered, or accelerated? Be honest, and if you typed endangered, the next section is specifically for you because that's the group with the most to gain right now. And here's what the data says you should actually be doing about it. Now, most career advice right now says some version of learn how to code or get an AI certification. But the data says something more nuanced than that. PricewaterhouseCoopers found that employers' demand for formal degrees is dropping, and it's dropping fastest in an AI-exposed job. The percentage of AI-augmented jobs requiring a degree fell from 66% to 59% between 2019 and 2024. For automatable job, it went from 53% to 44%. So credentials are mattering less, and demonstrating capabilities is mattering more. And LinkedIn Skill on the Rise report for 2025 tells you exactly what capability means right now. The number 1 fastest growing skill is AI literacy. Not AI engineering, not machine learning, literacy. And if you don't know what that means, it means the ability to understand and effectively use AI tools in your work. After that, it's conflict resolution, adaptability, process optimization, and large language models. You notice a pattern there? It's not purely technical, it's a stack. Human skills amplified by technical fluency. And the data from the World Economic Forum confirms this. Their top skills for 2030s are AI and big data, networks and cybersecurity, technological literacy, but also creative thinking, resilience, flexibility, curiosity, and lifelong learning, leadership, and social influence. So the winning strategy isn't becoming a technologist, it's becoming irreplaceable at the things AI can't do, while using AI as a force multiplier for everything else. And here's the framework I use with my clients to think about this. Step 1, you want to map your current daily task against the Goldman Sachs exposure data. What percentage of what you do is routine, predictable, and pattern-based? That's your automation risk. Be honest, most people underestimate this by half. The step 2 is identify the AI complementary skills specific to your field. If you're in finance, it's not learn Python, it's learn to use AI tools to do in 20 minutes the analysis that used to take you 3 days. And then you spend these 3 days on the strategic interpretation that AI can't do. The 55% wage premium from PricewaterhouseCoopers goes to the people who do both, not one or the other. Step 3 is building proof, not certificates, project. McKinsey found that 77% of companies say they want to reskill their workforce, but follow-through is limited because employers know that workers often leave after gaining new skills. So the leverage is yours. Build a portfolio of AI-augmented work that demonstrates your new capabilities. A project you actually completed is worth more than a certificate you completed nowadays. Step 4, the market rewards people who can articulate their value in the new economy, not just performing. LinkedIn data shows that 29% of professionals don't know how to present their skills. Update how you communicate what you can do to reflect AI literacy. And if everything that I just outlined seems totally blurry to you and you don't want to be doing this, if you want to go deeper on this framework and actually implement it with guidance, I run a workshop specifically designed for professionals navigating this transition. It's totally free to subscribe and you can check it out, it's in the description. But first, let me tell you what I think will happen next, because the data points in a very specific decision. So based on everything I found across this report, we're talking the World Economic Forum, Goldman Sachs, PricewaterhouseCoopers, McKinsey, the IMF, Stanford, LinkedIn, I'm going to make 3 predictions and I will come back to this video in 2028 to check for myself. Prediction number 1 is that by 2028, AI literacy will be as expected on a resume as computer literacy is today. The LinkedIn data already shows this trending. The 56% wage premium is an early signal. Within 2 years, not listing AI proficiency on your resume will be like not listing Microsoft Office in 2005. It won't disqualify you explicitly, but it will quietly move you to the bottom of the list. My prediction number 2 is that the biggest job losses won't come from AI replacing people. They will come from AI skilled people replacing AI unskilled people in the same roles. PricewaterhouseCoopers data shows job growing even in highly automatable categories, but the wage premium data tells you who's getting those jobs. It's the people with AI skills. The displacement isn't human versus machine, it's augmented human versus non-augmented human. That's a much harder conversation, but it's what the data says. And prediction number 3 is that by 2030, the most valuable professionals won't be specialists or generalists. They will be what I call orchestrators, people who can coordinate human creativity, AI capabilities, and strategic judgment into outcomes that neither humans nor AI can produce alone. And McKinsey already identifies these emerging roles: agent product managers, human-in-the-loop validators, AI evaluation specialists. These didn't exist 3 years ago, but 5 years from now, they'll be the backbone of every competitive organization. And the Stanford AI Index report shows that the cost of AI has dropped by a factor of 280 in just 2 years. That means everything I've described, every trend, every disruption, every opportunity is accelerating. Now, I mentioned the workshop, and if what you heard today made you realize you need to take action, not next year, not when things settle down, but now, I've built a workshop that takes you through this entire framework, step by step, personalized to your specific career situation. It's called the AI Proof Workshop. It's free to subscribe and the link is in the description. And I'm going to be tracking this prediction and releasing updated analysis as new reports come out. So if you want to stay ahead of this curve, subscribe, hit the notification bell, like this video and comment it if it brought you some value. And I'll see you in the next one.